Bonjour and welcome to Speak French avec moi. I am Séverine, your French teacher. Bonjour et bienvenue sur Speak French avec moi. Je suis Séverine, votre professeur de français. Comment ça va aujourd'hui? Moi, ça va bien. Aujourd'hui, today, we're going to learn how to ask questions with where in French. Alors, why making questions with where is tricky? Why listening or spending time on an episode to learn how to say where in French? Well, the answer is very simple. Where in French is a very short word. The word is où. Où. And it is very easy to miss it in a conversation. So, today, I'm going to teach you not only how to make questions with where, but how to make sure that you understand when people ask you, but you understand they might be asking you, where are you from? Where do you live? Or things like, where are you? I will also teach you to ask for places. Where is this? And of course, a very important one, where is the bathroom? As usual, go on the website speakfrenchavecmoi.com to find the transcript, and you're welcome to join the community on Facebook for more content and more inspiration. And I want to ask you, and I want to thank you for being such a good listener. If you are just starting, please feel free to subscribe. I publish a new episode every Friday, so you can make sure to learn French. Alors, how to ask questions with where in French? As I just said, where is où? Où. It's a short word and it's spelled O with a U, and you'll see a little accent on the U. This accent does not change the pronunciation. The sound is short. Ooh. And before we start working on questions, let's remember the 3 levels of French: spoken, common, and formal. When you ask a question, you'll use a different order depending to whom you talk. If you need to be formal, if you mean casual as a conversation, or common French, which is neither spoken nor formal. First, how to use where in French when looking for places. Where is this? In spoken French, you put où as the last word of your questions. C'est où? C'est où means where is this in spoken French? C'est où? In formal French, you will need to invert the subject and the subject, such as in English with are you? So, where is this is où est. Où est is where is this in formal French? Où est. In common French, you add est-ce que after où at the start and before the remaining of a sentence. let's practice. Où est-ce que c'est? Où est-ce que c'est? Let's try a little faster. Où est-ce que c'est? Où est-ce que c'est? Great. So now you know the three ways to ask for where is this, or the three ways you might hear where is this. And that's a very important point. Not only you have to be able to speak, but you also have to be able to understand. C'est où? Où est-ce que c'est means the same. Where is this? All right, and as I promised, a very important question is, where is the bathroom? All right, for that, you can say, les toilettes sont où? That's spoken French. Les toilettes sont où? Où sont les toilettes? That's formal French. Où sont les toilettes? And in common French, où est-ce que sont les toilettes? Now, you know the pattern, so we're going to use where in French when talking to someone. How are you going to ask, where are you from? How are you going to ask, where are you? How are you going to ask, where do you live? But also be able to understand when people ask you this question in a conversation. All right, we're going to take a short break and I'll be right back. Are you ready to speak French? Alors, as I said, we will use the same pattern of spoken, formal, and common French. And you will have to use a different pattern and you will hear a different pattern. And that's why it's important to know. A lot of students are confused when they get to France and what they hear doesn't match what they've learned, because spoken French, common French, and formal French have different grammar, different structures. So let's start with, where are you from? Let's say that you're standing at the bar, at the cafe, or you're at a party, or maybe you're just talking with your host and someone is asking you, where are you from? Or maybe you want to ask, where are you from in French? So let's remember that in French, we use tu as a subject for you when addressing someone you know. You use vous when addressing someone you don't know, which is a formal and polite way to talk to a stranger. Or you use vous when you speak to more than one person, same than you are. Let's start with tu. Where are you from can be said in spoken French, in formal French, and common French. So let's remember, spoken French, you end your question with où. You might hear or you might say, tu viens d'où? Tu viens d'où? Tu viens d'où means you're from where in French. Tu viens d'où? You might say, tu es d'où? Tu es d'où means you are from where? Tu es d'où? Or you can even shorten and say, t'es d'où? T'es d'où? T'es d'où? Let's repeat. Tu viens d'où? Tu es d'où? T'es d'où? All means the same thing. where are you from? Now, if you need to be formal, you still need to want to use tu, but you want to sound more educated. D'où viens-tu? D'où viens-tu? Now, common French, you remember you're going to use est-ce que. D'où est-ce que tu viens? D'où est-ce que tu viens? D'où est-ce que tu viens? Train yourself to hear and practice spoken, formal, and common French. Now, of course, what if you want to say vous? Spoken French, vous venez d'où? Vous venez d'où? Formal French, d'où venez-vous? D'où venez-vous? You hear? It's inverted. D'où venez-vous? Common French, remember we're going to have the est-ce que after ou and before the remaining of the sentence. D'où est-ce que vous venez? So a lot of students says, what is this d'où that I hear? Well, because it's to come from. The de that you hear, it actually means from. So, vous venez d'où? You come from where? D'où venez-vous? Where you come from. I can't even say that. Come from you, right? It doesn't, where do you come from? Et d'où est-ce que vous venez? That would be common French. All right, so now we know how to ask where are you from and how to understand where are you from. Now let's do where are you? Let's say that you need to send a text message, or maybe either like you need to talk to someone on the phone. Where are you? It's going to be in spoken French. We start with tu. Tu es où means you are where. Tu es où? Or t'es où? Tu es où? T'es où? Do you see how you slide the sounds with each other? Tu es où? Right? It's not tu es où. It's tu es où. Right? So it has to flow. Tu es où? Ou t'es où? Formal French. Où es-tu? Où es-tu? Common French. Où est-ce que tu es? Où est-ce que tu es? Tu es où? Où es-tu? Où est-ce que tu es? If you need to use vous, vous êtes où? Où êtes-vous? Où est-ce que vous êtes? Means where are you if you're going to address one person or more than one person. Vous êtes où? Où êtes-vous? Où est-ce que vous êtes? Alright, so now you know to ask where are you from and where are you, okay? Now, what if you need to say where do you live? Where do you live? So again, we're going to use our pattern of asking questions using common, standard, spoken, and formal. So when people ask where do you live, we use a verb. The word is habiter. Habiter is spelled with an H, and please do not say habit. It's habiter. I know it's something hard because you hear or you think that you have to say the H. You don't say H in French, so it's going to be habit. Tu habites où? T'habites où? Or you might even hear t'habites où, right? When people speak and they speak very fast, they tend to mash all the words together. Tu habites où? T'habites où? t'habites où? Same sentence, same question. Where do you live? Où habites-tu? Formal French. Où habites-tu? Où habites-tu? And then common French. Où est-ce que tu habites? Où est-ce que tu habites? Do you understand? And do you follow the pattern? Tu habites où? Où habites-tu? Où est-ce que tu habites? And if you need to use vous, vous habitez où? Alors, yes, you have to do that Z sound. Vous habitez où? Où habitez-vous? Où est-ce que vous habitez? Let's repeat. Vous habitez où? Où habitez-vous? Où est-ce que vous habitez? Again, as I just said, train yourself to practice this question, asking and understanding. Why? Because chances are when you travel or even if you live or study in France, people will ask you these questions and you have to be able to understand them. The où is very tricky. A lot of people say, what is this où do that I hear? I don't quite get it. Well, now you know, people are asking you questions, simple questions, because they want to connect with you. They're curious about you. And of course, you can connect with people because you're curious about them. So now you know how to ask, where do you live? All right, and the last one for fun. What if you wake up somewhere and you don't know where you are? What if you want to say, where am I? All right, so how are you going to say, where am I in French? Well, by now you should have a pretty strong clue how to say that. I am in French is je suis. It means I am, je suis. So let's follow our pattern. Spoken French, où je suis. Let's say that you're driving and, you lost connection. You're in the middle of French countryside. You have no idea. You found a little cafe and you want to ask, where am I? Où je suis. If you want to be more formal, où suis-je? Où suis-je? And if you want to send neither nor, to use the common standard French, où est-ce que je suis? Où est-ce que je suis? Where am I? Où je suis? Où suis-je? Où est-ce que je suis? Very convenient. If you're lost, you might want to know where I am. Great. So, today you learn how to use where, but also learn how to structure your questions using different patterns. The spoken French pattern, the formal French pattern, and the common standard French pattern. Voilà, c'est la fin de cet épisode. Here you go. It's the end of this episode. Give yourself a big applause. You made it until the end of the episode, and I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope I'm being helpful and helping you to learn French. Don't give up. Keep listening. As I say many times, grab a beginner grammar book to give you an idea of the language and practice if you can. You have many podcasts, many resources to help you. But you know what's very important? It's to make sure that you subscribe and you leave comments and rating to my podcast. I know I should be ashamed about all of this and asking. Anyway, whoever you are and wherever you are in the world, if nobody has told you today, you're just awesome. Merci. Au revoir. À bientôt.